what Rolex new releases actually tell you. Every year, as soon as like March comes around, Watches and Wonders annually usually happens in April, mid-month. Once that comes around and people start speculating and expecting new Rolex models and what's being discontinued and what's going to shake up the market, maybe a redesigned Submariner, maybe a brand new GMT like everyone thought with the Pepsi this year, and we're wrong. Well, I should say Pepsi and Coke. Something dramatic like discontinuing a Pepsi and bringing a Coke, but almost every year that doesn't happen. Rolex usually does the opposite. Small updates, small refinement, minor changes, elegant changes, classy changes. Most people barely notice. And honestly, that's exactly why Rolex stays on top. Good example this year is Rolex did with parts of the GMT and Day-Date lineups. Nothing felt overly dramatic. No wild redesigns. No desperate attempts to shock the market. Especially on the Day-Date, some nice new dials, some subtle refinements. Small execution of changes and controlled evolution to the models, like in the GMT case, that have been being produced since mid-century. Even when Rolex introduces something new, they make sure it feels unmistakably Rolex. A lot of people misunderstand how the brand operates. Rolex isn't trying to create chaos or hype. They're trying to control the market through consistency, which dictates hype and misunderstanding of what's coming. Rolex moves slowly on purpose, and when you understand that, you realize the important part usually isn't what changed, it's what didn't change. Because the market today is very different from how it was even just a few years ago. Back then, almost every Rolex was flying up in value. People were buying hype more than actual watches, but now buyers are much more selective, and that changes everything. Some Rolex models are still very strong. Others, especially the hype-driven pieces, have cooled off a lot, and that's why buyers actually have to think a little bit more now. Not every Rolex automatically has upside anymore. Some still make sense, and many don't. From what we see every day, buying, selling, trading, consigning, sourcing, and servicing watches, buyers today are more patient and much more informed. Rolex right now isn't really the opportunity play as it used to be. It's more of a stable play, maybe predictable. And that's a huge difference than what it was even just a few years ago. So when you look at Rolex new releases, don't just focus on what's changed, focus on what Rolex is signaling through the changes they didn't make. The brand is prioritizing consistency, long-term positioning, and stability over hype. Though a lot of hype does get created by the market, the buyers. And honestly, that's a huge reason Rolex continues to dominate. If you're thinking about buying, selling, trading, consigning, or just trying to understand what actually makes sense in today's market, we're always happy to help you. And if you want to work with us, our information is in the description below. Just shoot us an email. But let me know what you think. Should Rolex take bigger risks with releases, or is the slow and controlled approach exactly why the brand works? My name is Chris, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.